Let's have at it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Have At It. This is episode 23. I'm your host, Ben Cornett, and it's my Twitter handle at BennyBoy702.com. I'm sorry, BennyBoy702. Tonight, as you know, from this point forward, Have At It will not have any topics. The topic will be anything. As I posted before, we're just going to randomly shoot the shit here on Friday nights, late nights, so we could act out, talk about whatever we want, except for politics and religion. I specified that. But yeah, let's have at it. And my first guest here is going to have at it with me, ladies and gentlemen. You might know this guy very well. He is back in action. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alex Schomber. Alec, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Oh, still getting over everything that went on this week. So trying
Yeah,
to
I'm sorry about
turn it around.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that, man.
it's tough. You just gotta, after a while of you dealing with it for 2 years of people passing left and right, it's just numb at this point. So I just gotta keep it pushing at this point.
Yeah, we got to do that. And as you know, my little baby passed 15 and a half years, passed away a week ago. So I know how you feel. It's tough, but they're watching up there right now and cross that rainbow bridge, and they're ready to bark and meow as we bark and meow ourselves here on this show. So, Alec, what's been going on lately, my friend? Besides the bad news, what's any good news?
Um, I can't really think of anything right now. That's really
Yeah,
positive on the
our
week,
team
but
our team got swept, as you may know. They were swept out of the playoffs.
Lowry, I knew that before that happened. So what's the we were facing Nuggets? Also it's gonna be a 4-0 sweep.
Wow, that's pretty bold. I had it 4-2
I mean,
Denver, but
it's not really. I'm not trying to bash the team. It's just, let's be honest. One, LeBron, just hang it up, dude. Just hang it up. Like, you want to stay for 2 more years, you're not gonna get a ring in 2 years. So just because it's funny how before, when they were winning, no one said anything about the injury. No one brought up an injury. No one said anything about an injury. And then as soon as they lose, all these reports come out that he's injured, that he had an injury during the playoffs. No one said anything in that until they started losing. This is funny how
yeah,
the shit comes full circle in a way.
yeah. No, I listen. We know LeBron. He's dramatic. He likes the spotlight on him. And it's like ESPN. We all know it's the LeBron Sports Network. They don't talk about enough about the Denver Nuggets, who
Yeah,
outplayed the
the Nuggets are a
Lakers.
very slept on team. It's like
Mm-hmm.
because I had this conversation with my friend last time, or the
Yeah.
other like the other day, because he's like, "Oh, Lakers in 5." I was like, "You realize the last time they faced the Nuggets in the finals or the Western Conference Finals, they like, yeah, they had Jamal Murray, they had Jokic, but they didn't have Michael Porter Jr. They didn't have KCP. They didn't have Bruce Brown. Like, you need those players. Like, yeah, you have your starters, but you're not your team without your role players on the bench, like your 6-man players. And if people forget who we had on our team, we won the championship, KCP, which is another player we should never let go. But who am I? It's Lakers management. Knowing them, knowing our
Mm-hmm.
chances of how our team history is, we'll probably lose Austin Reeves because he's still one max contract. Apparently, D'Angelo Russell said he wanted $100 million contract before the trade.
Russell's
So Lord,
gone.
that's gonna.
Russell's gone, dude. He's not coming back.
Yeah,
Trust
he's.
me on that.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna try to want big money, knowing. Even though, yeah, it was great having him back. It's just like you gotta be realistic at that point. Like, you're not worth. $100 million. You're really not.
Right.
Like
No, I
he was good before the Nuggets series, and the Nuggets series happened, and he just went non-existent. Nets kept posting videos of him after the game shooting threes. I'm like, bro, it's not gonna. The fuck's that gonna do? It's just
yeah, I mean,
it's just
listen,
bad.
Alec, it's they should have Darvin Ham should have put Hachimura in game 3. They should have had the lineup changed then. He waited too long to change the lineups. D'Angelo Russell. He went with the 2 forward, 3 guard lineup, which that's not going to work against Denver. You got to go bigger. You got to go 3-2, and
Yeah,
that was one of the things that hurt him in this series. And Darvin's going to learn. He got out coached. Michael Malone's a great coach, and
I mean, I
Denver's
give
just
him
a great.
credit. Like he went from what 2-10, 1% chance of making the playoffs. Like he's not
Yeah,
a bad coach. It's just
yeah. This is
I
just
feel
his
like
first time. Yeah,
yeah, I feel like from what the team we had at the beginning of the season and then post trade deadline,
yeah,
it's a huge shift on how the team reacted. Like everybody wants to say, "Oh, Westbrook was good for a team." I was like, "No, the dude's a cancer to any team he touches. He's literally a human cancer to any team he goes to. That's why the Clippers lost. Whenever he was when he went with them, everybody said, "Oh yeah,
mhm.
Westbrook to the Clippers are gonna go to the championship." How'd that work out for you guys? Nowhere. Dude's a cancer. And I literally feel bad for anybody who has him on their team. I really feel bad for him.
Yeah. I
AD,
agree.
I don't know, like he's hit or miss. Like he just can't stay healthy mid-season. LeBron wants to get injured mid-season. It's just all those things. With all those things that happen, they still went to the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm actually like the farthest I saw us going was first round and like get past the first round. I was like, after that, it's gonna be all hell break loose and whatever happens. And they knocked off the defending champions. I mean, I can't really like. What more can I ask for? I mean, I can't really. I had no hope of us winning a championship this year, in my honest opinion. But I just wanted to see how far our team would go, and the fact that they
right.
beaten the the Jaw War Ants and the defending champions is the highlight of my freaking playoffs. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, Ja Morant might get suspended for a year.
I don't know about a year, but he's definitely going to get a lot of time, man.
Do you see
I
that
think he's
thing with Jalen Green from the Houston Rockets?
no, I didn't see that.
He went live and he said, "Don't
Uh-huh.
pull out the gun like Ja did." It went
Wow.
viral. He's on
Oh
Instagram
man.
live in the car, and they're like, "Don't pull out the gun! Don't pull out the gun!"
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
Like
Oh, dude.
I give ESPN full credit for everybody believing that Ja Morant changed. I give them full credit doing a whole interview before a game to think he changed. Dude's not going to change.
No, no, of course not. He made Jalen Rose look like an idiot during that interview.
And they say he's hood, but went to a private school. It's like I don't get it.
Kind of like that 8 Mile like restaurant. Yeah. He had
Like, dude,
really
you went to
good
a private
parents.
school your whole life. Like
He had a really good
the
marriage.
whole
Oh,
situation is just funny at this point. Like, and then you got they said that Dylan Brooks. It says don't even bother. Like, he's definitely not coming back. Like that whole team is just I don't know. Like that team is just weird. I don't know.
yeah.
Memphis. They haven't been the same since they had what Randolph, Zebo.
Gasol, Mark Gasol. Yeah, I remember that team.
Yeah, that team hasn't been shit since. Now it's just a freaking scared straight program.
Dude, they're going to be really in the shitter come next year. At least the beginning of next year, because they're going to be toward the bottom. No Morant and no Dylan Brooks. The Grizzlies aren't going to bring them back. So,
And the crazy part is, I
oh
was
yeah,
looking at. I'm not sure if
yeah.
you saw it, but now they have like three teams offering a trade for. They have three teams offering a trade for Anthony Davis. You got the Knicks, you got the
Mhm.
Bulls, and you got it's a third team. I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
I think it was the
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
But that for me, in my opinion, the Bulls offer look great. Looks great. That one actually looks good because they would give
Yeah.
us 2 first-round picks, like one next year and then one like 2 years later, and Zach LaVine. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week instead of having some player that, God forbid, you push him against the freaking corner. He freaking out for like 10 games. I don't know that.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's
Well,
literally built like glass.
I know who I'll take, Mr. Johnny Dean. I'll take him on this show, Johnny.
How's it going, man?
We're talking, yeah, good. We're talking a little NBA right now. Me and Alec, and now you. So
Go Celtics.
Hey, they win tomorrow night. They're gonna win Game 7 back in Boston. I'm telling you right now, Miami better close it out tomorrow night, or it's going back to Boston, and Boston's winning Game 7. And we'll see history be made.
Absolutely. I love history. Anytime there's history on the line, I'm going to tune in.
Yes.
Unless,
All right,
unless
I got
it's
it for you.
that other sport, which I could care less unless they're using steroids.
You mean boxing? No.
That too. I'll tune back into boxing if they start using steroids.
It was the Pelicans. That was the third team. The Pelicans.
Pelicans?
Hey,
Okay.
Hey Ben,
They're
we
gonna
gonna get
offer
wild
Stephen
tonight?
Solomon, Najee Marshall, something.
Yeah. Let's have at it. You can have at it. Let's go wild.
Let's go wild.
What do you
Last
wanna
week
talk
was that was awesome. Last week, man.
Wasn't it? Oh
Fucking
man,
nuts, dude.
Yes, we introduced the world to Scott Thaler, man. I'm proud
Speaking
to say
of
I was.
Scott, that was a pretty fun game over there on NSD. Got to shout out Andrew. That was pretty
Andrew,
fun.
Alex Loosemore, those guys are killing it over there. Man, thank you for having me, by the way, guys. That was a lot of fun. Last night, Johnny, we did our 100th episode of NFL Edition.
Went a little bit off the rails, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh man, Alec, you should have been on, man. That was you're a part of our show too, man.
You said you were going to show up, and I put the link in the chat, dude. So
what
happened to you
today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. I told you, like, a lot of shit was going on yesterday. Is this mentally I couldn't do it. Like,
all right.
My mom's like, because my dad's not home right now. He won't be back till Sunday. You know how my mom is? Yeah. God, if I not reply back to a single message, she'll probably go freaking like AWOL. Because she's going through the emotions worse than I saw when my first dog passed away. Because now there's no dogs in the house. So now it's just her by herself, and literally nothing. So I just couldn't like see myself like keeping her unattended and being on a show.
No apologies.
Right now, my aunt's with her right now, so she's with them for the weekend.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
I mean, I saw it coming.
I'd spend the day in the hospital today, so yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I saw it coming, but I'm just glad that with this dog, at least I saw it see that one dog one last time, because the one that passed before her, I haven't seen that dog since I freaking graduated boot camp. That was like in 2015. So like that one hurt a little bit more because like I always like try to go back home and I always like forget, and then I like keep procrastinating it. And then when it happened, I was like, it was more like a guilt that I was like I never got to see them or my dogs at all.
Damn, I feel guilty for being in a good mood today. Shit, dude.
But that's why like I had when Christmas happened, I had to go back home and see him. So
okay. Well, let's try to have a good mood here tonight.
Yeah, let's up the tempo a little bit, man.
Yeah, and let's reply to this comment. No, he is not working for the Saints. He's just working for Derek Carr.
All right, listen. Let me clarify that. This is the Saints being little asshole sneaks again. All right, he's working with the coaching staff and he's working with Derek Carr, and they're not paying him. Okay, bullshit. They're sneaking money, cash under the table, so they don't get fined by Roger Goodell. But it's gonna. I guarantee you, it's gonna hit the fan before long.
Yeah, no, I mean
He's
that's
not
just
supposed
what
to
it is.
be involved in any NFL shit. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's typical Saints. First, the lawsuit on
Fucking
the.
Saints doing it again.
Oh, I know. Let's get one of their former coaches. Let's bring him on in. Sneak him on in here.
Let's just say he's working with these guys. He's not actually doing a job. What the fuck do you call it if it's not doing a job, dude?
Right.
Fuck that.
Oh man. Can you imagine those little shorts he's wearing right now with the little visor? Come on, Derek. Throw that sluggo route.
It's fine. I got my built-in excuse now. So if they start winning and shit, fuck you cheaters. Just like with the Patriots, dude.
First it was Bounty Gate, and now it would be Gruden Gate.
The bounties have never really stopped, though. You know that, right? You see how they play against like us. I'm just saying us for an example because they do it with a lot of teams we've seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you saw Godwin get hurt because of that.
Yep.
Coming down the middle, and who was it that hit him? Was it Lattimore?
I think it might have been. No, was it Lattimore? Lattimore is usually busy with Evans.
Right. Yeah. I forget who it was, but he hit him right below the waist, so broke his leg. Yeah, out for the year. I remember that.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah, that was not good times. But yeah, so that's the big story. DeAndre Hopkins got released, which I think we saw coming.
We didn't see that coming, dude. They just gave him away, and not only that, they paid him to go.
Well, I knew he would not be back, but yeah, you're right. He not the way he was let go. Yeah, we didn't see that part.
They're still on the hook for $22 million with him, man. That's fucking. Let's don't trade him to nobody. Let's just fucking say hi, bye. Not even a 7th round pick. You're not getting shit out of him, dude.
And you're eating up $26 million of your cap.
Yeah. Well, I think the way they structured it is not going to hurt their cap too much at the $6 million. They saved $6 million this year off of it. Off of that. They're not actually saving $6 million, but they're saving $6 million off of his salary this year.
Right.
That's it. I mean, they're still paying him, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
guys,
still a cap hit.
Yeah, this week, Max came out. It's now Max.
Awesome. I'm loving it.
Yeah, did you check it out, Alec? Did you go to Max and check out the new stuff?
I'm on Max right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Since Netflix came out that new privacy.
Who's the Facebook user?
Well, let me check.
Ever since Netflix decided to be some hoes, I took my talents to HBO Max and Peacock, so I refuse to pay for Netflix.
Corey King Brown, our good friend Corey in the comments. Thanks, Corey, by the way.
112 receptions last year. He's not too short. I'm sorry, man.
No, he's still a pretty good receiver. He's going to get somebody's going to get
112 receptions.
Yes.
That's a lot, dude. That's not you're not turning your nose up at 112 receptions, dude.
What's going on, gentlemen? Sean Spencer in the house. How you doing tonight, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
Good to see you. Not Will Smith, but Sean Spencer. What's up,
always,
Alex?
Man, always.
Oh, man. Johnny Dean doing double duty. Yeah. Well, so am I.
That sounds dirty.
Double duty. Ew. Johnny, what'd you have to eat today, by the way?
What did I fucking eat? Fish. I had fish today.
Oh,
fish, beans, fish, some green stuff.
Or did it turn into green stuff?
No, it went in green. It went in green, and it'll mix with all the beans and the fish and shit. And I don't know what it'll end up being, but
well,
use your imagination.
Beans, magical fruit. The more you eat,
I guess Sean did all his. I guess Sean did all his stuff last night, so he's staying off the shows today, or what, man?
Oh, I know, right? Like, I don't know, but he's got to take care of Kat, who hopes she gets better there soon.
Yeah, she had that
Sean
bad
Spencer.
throat last night.
So, yeah, bronchitis could be bad, man. Like, hopefully gets better. So, here we go again. Every time I hop on, it gets dirty. Yeah, it gets
Well, this
Christina
is the
Aguilera.
right show for it, man. This is the show that's supposed to go off the rails, man.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's why you're on tonight. Look at this. She went to another flipping.
Well, send him the link, man.
Oh, I did. Yeah, it's in the on the post right now on our video. I sent it already. It's
Jump
the
on, Sean.
Yeah, it's on our off the rails message board. By the way, Mr. Spencer, come on anytime. Let's get Christina Aguilera dirty. Man, so yeah.
The show could use a little color, man. We got 2 white guys and a guy who thinks he's from Watts.
All right. And DeAndre Hopkins, good fit for 3 teams: Bucks, Bengals, and Rams. Well, no, Bucks are out of it. We already got Evans and Godwin. Why do we?
I would. Oh man, could you imagine Hop with Joe Burrow?
Yes, that would be nice.
That'd be a nice combination right there. That might push him over the edge right there. I like that right there.
Yeah, Jamar Chase on one side, Andre Hopkins on the other. Ooh, come on now. The Bills, that could be another team, alongside Stephon Diggs.
I don't know who Facebook user is.
Oh, it's your buddy, Scott Thaler. He's says hi. Yeah. Lord. Dear Lord. So, yeah. But no, Max
Alex, you're great. Get used to Scott. He's going to be on a lot of our shows, dude.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. But Max looks great, guys. I mean, now you got Discovery Channel, you got Food Network, you got National, is it History Channel? I think stuff from History.
Probably because it's with Discovery, TLC.
So
HGTV is on there. All the shows I record are, the ones I record on TV are on there now. So, it's outside the football stuff, then fuck cable, man. I'm about to cut the cord.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I was supposed to watch the new Netflix releases and then hopped on and it said, are you in the house of the primary user? I was like, oh, there goes Netflix with that bullshit. And it deleted the app.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for it. I refuse to pay for like the amount of stuff that Netflix comes out with. Shit's not fucking worth the money.
I have Netflix for The Witcher and
Peacock,
a couple other shows.
HBO. I'm like, I'm not pay for a fourth one.
Yeah.
4. Jesus.
No, what's that? I have
to cut back on over 3/4 of them to get down to 4.
No. I have Stars, Peacock, and HBO Max. My bad, Max. I wasn't gonna pay for a 4th streaming site.
Yeah. Paramount's gotten a lot better.
Yes, it has.
Stepping your game up. I have that with Showtime, so it is. Oh, we got a 4th here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him in. You saw him first on this show last week, and ever since then, he's become quite a celebrity on other episodes of other shows. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy who shows off his high school graduation rings more than anybody knows. It is Mr. Scott Thaler. Guns are out tonight, man. Look at those arms, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Didn't do very good at Hollywood Squares or Jeopardy, but I thought I'd come in and say hi to Alex since I hadn't seen him in a while.
I mean,
I buried myself in Jeopardy. I did not know that Alex was going to miss the next question, or I would have actually tried instead of giving the Andrew Faubert answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I figured I was so far behind, there's no way. And Alex misses the next 400-point question. I was like, son of a bitch, if I had actually tried, I could have been up there.
Corey Brown says 3 weeks until The Walking Dead City. Does anybody watch Walking Dead? I don't.
I did up until partway through. When Negan killed what's his name, then I was done with it. I was like,
I've never seen it.
It was the same thing over and over. You get to liking these guys, and instead of they were constantly stuck in a loop, man. So I'm like, You know, if you watch one season, you watch them all now.
Okay. How about you guys, Scott?
Z
You watch,
Nation was my favorite.
which one?
Z Nation.
Z Nation sucks.
Tell us what
Oh,
Z
by the
Nation.
way-
I don't know what that one is. What is
By
that
the way,
show?
Ben, I'm gonna see that movie on Sunday. That Fast X. Just for the fucking
Oh
shits
yeah,
and giggles.
that's the final
Just for the
one.
fuck
Yeah,
of it.
Oh, another Final Fast and Furious. Yay.
Did you
I'm gonna wait
did you see
till.
that? Did you
I'm
see
sorry,
that
what's
meme
that?
that was on Facebook? It said Fast 50, and it had a picture of Vin Diesel with gray hair and all aged.
No, I didn't. Looks funny though. Huh? Hey,
I'm only
so
watching it because
I'll wait till
I told you about.
Universal. I'll wait till Peacock. That's when it's in a couple months. I'll just wait.
Most
until
of them are
Peacock.
already streaming. I don't even watch them. I watched The Fast and Furious, was a good movie, but I didn't really see a need for a sequel. And now 20 sequels out. Jesus. They even got a
Yeah.
spin-off, the Dom and whatever the Jason Statham one.
Yeah,
Hobbs
well,
and
they did
Shaw.
that with what was it? The Rock, right? You had
Yeah.
The Rock,
Yeah.
Jason Statham. Yeah,
They were
said
having a
that-
feud,
said
weren't
like
they?
5,000 times. This was gonna be the final one like 4 movies ago. Here we are.
It's kind of like
Movie time.
Michael Myers, the final cut, this and that, all that. All right, man. Somebody eventually cut his head off or something.
and then it'll
Yeah.
just put back on, put a new one on, and then it'll
Yeah. Well, they did Jason. So,
I mean, I'm only watching it because the thing
but
I
they
told you
got a
about.
good backstory with Jason since he comes from the Evil Dead. He's a Deadite now. The Evil Dead franchise has said that Jason is a Deadite. So okay, now you can start putting those pieces together like Jason's been putting his pieces together for so long.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like the very first one was great. Hell, the second one was really good. Too Fast, Too Furious. But like you said, it's like it's just money. You know, they're just at this point they're printing money. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean the movies are great. It's just more, you know, people are paying to see it, and as long as they're making money off it, just keep doing.
It's kind of like the thing with horror movies these days, right? I mean, if a horror movie has a hit, like The Purge and stuff like that, then you can fully expect 20 more of them.
Yeah,
And I think that's
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous. Your original, if your original is great, then let it sit. Let it stew when it's due. Because I'll tell you what franchises do to a horror movie, it makes you not give a fuck.
right. Yeah, I mean, look at the Saw franchise. I mean, how many Saws have we had? 20 of them?
I think they're supposed to be making another one too.
Ugh.
That's a good question. Why aren't we all showing up as Facebook users now?
Well, I thought that was your nickname.
No, because
Isn't
I
that
think
your
StreamYard
nickname?
has this thing where you got like.
If you read the
you
link
gotta have
before you click
approval.
on it, you would see why.
Yeah,
You have to give StreamYard permission to use your name.
yeah, yeah. So you have to. Corey's not
I've been
doing
on
that.
it. I've been on before, and it shows my name when I go.
Depends on
Yeah.
what site you're watching from.
Well, also, real quick, you're friends with me, so any friends that, so you're gonna see their name. Oh no, wait, I am friends with Corey Brown. I don't know why his doesn't.
Yeah, that don't matter. It just depends on which page or whatever you're following. You click on the site from.
Yeah. Well, guys,
'Cause
Tina Turner passed away, one of the greatest singers in rock and roll history. Man, she was great, wasn't she? I mean, great songs, great.
Yep.
Just a legend in music, rock and roll Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame. Man, yeah, great singer. Did you ever listen to? Well, maybe this was before your time, Alec. But did you ever listen to
This is
Tina
a
Turner?
conversation.
I don't think it could be before anybody's time, man. Tina Turner was generational. Not only Tina Turner though, but Ray Stevenson, the guy who played Volstagg in the Thor trilogy,
Oh yes, yeah, he
he
passed away
died
too.
also, and he was only 58 years old. Man, that was a shock.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I know it's crazy. Scott Taylor, show us the Super Bowl rings.
Sean, why would you do that to us, dude?
You're being
I got
mean.
the hat on.
Alex said this is a
No.
conversation for the older people.
Oh man, look at that.
I got 34 too, but I'm not gonna inflict that on you.
Well, thank you for showing that to us, Thanos. That was pretty cool, by the way. I think that
Wait,
thing was.
well, how'd you
bringing-
call him Thanos, man? His name ain't Tom Brady.
Okay.
No, but I did do Giselle, so
I guess Bill Belichick
this-
would be Thanos, huh?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
That-
Patriots only have 6 Super Bowl wins, right? Brady's got
mhm.
7. So
So he's got all 6
So-
of the Patriots.
even after that last 20 years, they still can't brag over the Steelers and Cowboys and 49ers because they all have 6.
Right. Well, the Steelers, don't they have 7?
No, they keep.
No, they don't.
Trust me, man. You'll see the signboards. We're going for 7 to heaven or whatever it's called. They got a whole little thing there, and I'm like, not this year. We're not.
You know, it's
They better-
crazy.
Although they are excited about this year up here, man. They really are, and I'm like, yay! But it's because they got their defense back together. They got a good defense
Right.
together now.
Sean didn't
What's
say
that,
they
Alex?
won 8. He said they've been to 8.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Alec? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, I'll raise his 1. I'll give him 5.
Ooh, look at
Oh, he's got the
those.
Mr. T starter kit.
Who are you a
Sean has
super,
to-
who are
that's
you
like
a fan
what,
of, man? with
90s?
those 5 rings.
Don't worry, Sean. Your time will come soon.
He's
Maybe.
got a ring for every Super Bowl. It's not just the 5 that he hit on his hand.
Oh well, you know.
Sean
I'll never
Spencer
see that,
told me
probably.
to come on the show and just start quacking. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he's talking about there. Quack,
I mean
quack,
the
quack,
Washington
quack.
Commanders. I mean National Football Team. I mean Redskins. I mean name change again. Another name change.
Yeah, they're gonna change their name again. Obviously, with the new owner, they're gonna do that. But
It's going to
Okay.
boost sales. It's going to boost out. Jesus, man. They just did twice already now. So that fan
I mean,
base
the only
is
thing they can hope
broke.
for is a better. All you can do is hope for a better Sean Taylor Memorial because the last 3 was just terrible. Why don't they give him a
you know,
statue? Like, is it so hard to do a statue? Is it like that hard to make a statue?
well, they didn't want
If I think
Oh.
they get a better chance of putting a statue up if they get the fuck
Listen.
away from DC, Sean.
Hey, hold up. First and foremost, Alec, I didn't say that. All right, I'll talk to you face to face about your team, but I didn't say anything about your team.
Okay,
That's
so
Johnny
all the
started
time you
trying to
say
start
quack.
stuff. I just
All
want to
the
get
time
on
you say
here
quack, you don't
and
like
clear my
Ron,
name.
You have to you threw me under the bus, man. What the fuck?
All those times this man hops on says quack, and then one time I fire back the first thing he gets it.
Look,
little,
look, I'm not. Hey, look, I've learned my lesson. All right, but it is a new year. You see the hat?
Just make sure you get your New Jersey ready because Commanders is not in no more.
Oh, all right, I'll get that.
Alec, he is correct. I'm the one that started that, so you can fire away at me. But quack, quack.
Hold up, I'm too black for this. Give me a second.
the Washington Wolves.
I can handle Johnny doing it, but you know,
What do you think of this one?
Sean's
The Washington
story.
Wolves, and then they
See,
can howl like
the Red Wolves. The Red Wolves were a thing. That's another thing that they came in and wiped out the fucking planet. So now the Red Wolves are starting to creep back into to that area, New Jersey and stuff like that, and Washington. But come on, how many things can you make extinct and then name your team after? No, let's don't do that.
right.
I'm
Well,
actually
I like
not
this
surprised.
Washington
Like,
Wolves. Yeah.
the one thing
Washington
I don't get
Wolves.
Like the only thing I don't get about the whole name thing is it took them a year to deny the approval, but don't you like have to go through that when you first get a name change? Doesn't it have to get approved
Not under
first?
new ownership, new team. It's a new team. They're going to change everything.
Mhm.
Let's change that fucking football field too. Just a
Sean,
fucking
get back
death
on
trap.
here, man. We got to argue about this bullshit with the location too.
You got to have at it, man. Johnny's.
I'll be
he wants
completely
to-
honest with you. That stadium, just tear it down. For the love of God, tear it down. The football field is just a war zone. Speaking from somebody that's went there for a game,
Mhm.
worst experience I've ever seen.
Oh,
in my
you're
life
talking
with a
about
football
Landover,
field.
Maryland?
It's basically by Maryland. Maryland.
No, it's
like,
in Maryland. That's Landover, Maryland. It's in Maryland.
still a shit stadium. Fucking sewage system pouring on people.
Hey, you want a shit
like-
stadium? Go to the old RFK Stadium.
Well, I mean, if I wanted to go to a shit stadium, I would
Did
go
we
to the
lose
Raiders Coliseum.
Yeah, John, I didn't think he wanted to have at it with you tonight. So. he's like,
Oh
"Nah."
man.
You were gonna.
He'll use the hands instead.
Well, according to Stan Kroenke, the dome in St. Louis was a crappy stadium.
Wait a minute. All right, let me get this straight here with you right now, Mr. Thaler.
Here you
I
go.
don't
Here we
believe
go.
there's anybody on this panel right here that wouldn't want a team back in St. Louis.
I know that.
I mean, speaking from from what I've seen with the XFL, yeah, they definitely just like. Have you seen the fan base going to a XFL, the St. Louis Battlehawks Stadium? Like
Yep.
pregame, the whole thing is flooded with people. It's matches like an NFL team. Like this is just
All
they
right.
need football. That they already have.
All right,
They have
let's
baseball.
have at
soccer,
it here with
all these
Sean
football
Smith
back.
back in the house. You
You
have
got
at
the
it.
one
with-
ear thing going on, man. Is that what the kids are doing these days, Sean?
Wow. Wow. Well, the old man. Look, Johnny, listen. I do that so I can hear on the other side if I get called by Cat. All right. She's about to come back to this concert. Yes.
So you
she's
got
back?
everything covered.
Almost. She's not back yet.
Oh, okay. You got all your disguises ready and shit? So no,
Oh, yeah.
I was just laying here watching TV.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's out. You know, everything's all right. Wait. Shh. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. What's going on, gentlemen?
All right, Sean. Let's
Yes.
get down to this, man.
All right.
And don't you give me no more shit about DC. Give
Oh, my
me a good location for a new stadium.
Okay, anywhere but Virginia. Okay, because where I live, it is far too much traffic, and I'm about 20, 30 minutes outside of DC. I live right near
You're not
Leesburg.
Richmond? Where?
I'm near Leesburg.
Oh, Leesburg.
Yeah, hold on, let me get water real quick. Hold on.
Hey, here's a good idea. Stick them up around Anne Arundel, right where the Ravens practice facility is at.
I mean, we might as well. We're already in Landover. So
No
I
shit,
honestly, I've heard that, you know, RFK obviously is terrible to dump, whatever, but it's not as much about that as it is about that land over there. When Dan Snyder was in, they had none of it. They weren't talking to him. He was bad business. So they had no kind of conversation about that. But now, since with the new owners, I've heard there's been talks about, hey, you know, what can we do to this land? We will kind of
There was, but when
be
they
interested
talked
in
at the owners meeting this last week, they said that the DC thing was shut down. There's not going to be
Really?
a stadium built there. Yes.
Well, that means you always got land over. You can do the repairs on that. I don't want it in Virginia, but they did buy land in Virginia, like 100 acres,
Where
I
at?
believe, in Woodbridge.
Woodbridge.
So
Oh, okay.
we'll see what they
Looks
do.
like-
I don't want that, man. That traffic is going to be just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not trying to have any of that.
Well, you know, honestly,
bought
anything
land there.
from Richmond up is just a nightmare of traffic. so.
Right,
Yeah, if they
right.
bought land there, that's probably a good indication that's where they're going to move to. If they bought land there.
Well, yeah, that's the thought. I mean, they're already in Ashburn. You know, like when I was a senior in high school, I actually like kind of interned over there at like the Ashburn facility and worked. I didn't intern. I was actually like doing parking and stuff like that. But I was close. I saw the cars and whatnot, man. I even got to wave at, some of the guys. I think Ray Rhodes, one of the coaches at that time. It was 2001, around that time. So, but it's been there for a while, and that's pretty cool. But all that traffic, it's already crazy traffic. It's already gridlock from 28 to 7 and all that stuff. So, I just don't want that.
And please don't put it nowhere near the loop road, man, because they're in trouble then.
Right.
I like the DMV simply because they could do a dual threat thing there. You could come there and watch your games, and you could also come there and get your driver's license and stuff.
Right. Right. It's a good area, and that's the thing. If a smart marketing team would take advantage of that. You have your facility in Virginia, your team is named in Washington, but your stadium's in Landover. Man, market all of that. Get all of those fans. And we have to fight with the Maryland fans that try to go up for the Ravens or whatever, but let's bring some of them back and give them something to cheer for in Washington, man.
Yeah, I mean, have they come up with like any nicknames yet? Have they come with a list like not yet? Not yet. Okay.
No, I mean, no.
I think honestly, you can get rid of that whole stigma from Washington. Kind of like the Browns when he moved that team to Baltimore and called them the Ravens. Look how quick they became good, right. And they didn't have that moral beatdown of the name hanging over. Right. Just get rid of the entire image of Washington, and because even people who are going to be brand new to watching football, right? They're going to hear that word Washington, and the politics, of course, will come up.
But wait. No. Do you get rid of the creamsicle and the early Doug Williams and the 0-26? No, you have to have that.
Wait a minute.
No, but you still know the history is what I'm saying, Johnny. You have to bring in that history. You have to bring in guys like you that feel that way about John Riggins, Joe Theismann, Billy Kilmer, watching that stuff. You know what I mean? So you got to bring, but that's what I'm saying. You have to bring them in. You have to bring the current guys in that have been through Super Bowl in the early 90s and a drought ever since. And then you have to bring the young kids in that have only seen like RG3 and his leg getting, by Haloti Ngata. And, they've only seen Kirk Cousins and Dwayne Haskins, and this is all they know. So you have to mesh it all, and it stinks because it's like you want to move on. You want to just say, "Hey," and we're hoping we got that.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying though is,
all right, gentlemen.
All right,
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I'll talk.
Cat's calling me.
With the Tampa Bay Rays, it's like I could care less. That guy don't want to fucking be there, so fuck him. He's already threatened you with Canada. He's already threatened you with all the other bullshit. Fuck him. That's kind of the same way I'm looking at Washington. They don't want the team. You know what I mean? They're already denying them the building rights to put a stadium in Washington. So fuck you, man. If we're going to force us to play in Maryland or Virginia, then we'll go with the Maryland or Virginia title then. You know what I mean?
And I get what you're saying, Johnny. And
I get what Sean's saying too, as far as the fandom goes. But hey, don't you remember Earl Campbell? Even though Houston Texans, the Houston Astros, whatever the fuck, your Houston Oilers
that became the Titans.
Yes, thank you. The Houston Oilers are no longer a team anymore. You still have that heritage there. It's still there. It didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, but I mean, and also, Washington does have those 3 Super Bowls too, so that can definitely help their, like you're saying, with Tennessee Titans, from Houston Oilers to Tennessee Titans.
Well, the Houston Oilers still have one of the most miraculous, what do you call it, collapses of all time against the Bills.
35-3 with the Bills.
Yeah, we remember that completely, don't we?
Yeah. Frank Reich, yeah. Now he's coaching Carolina. I mean, I see both sides. For you and Sean, you both make some good points. I do think you got to keep some of that remnants, with Washington, even though they're going to move to Virginia, supposedly. Like, Washington, does that really make sense, though, at the same time? Washington.
Exactly. That's Washington don't want you, man. So slap them in the face and stick it up their ass. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
You hear
Well, look
that,
at all-
Washington?
Look at all the teams in New York that have New York in front of their name.
There's
The
one
only
team in
that-
New
the
York
only
that's
team that
actually in
plays
New York.
is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I just said.
So, Alec, any thoughts on the Washington, Virginia Commandos, Wolves, whatever you want to call them? No?
No, I'm good. Pass up
Okay.
on that. That team is just
I
rebuilding.
love what that team's doing with
Foundation.
themselves right now, and I hope it amounts to something in the near future, because that's the best way to say "fuck you, Dan Snyder" there is.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I'm finally glad we're out of the Dan Snyder era. Now we're in a new era.
Did you say
where-
Dan Snyder? You're giving him the same first name as the Lions coach?
Dan Snyder? Did I
Oh,
say
I thought you
Dan?
said
No,
damn Snyder.
I said Dan Snyder. Sorry,
Okay.
Dan. Yeah, I'm glad they're out of the Dan Snyder era. Now you got a new ownership group. Hopefully, they're gonna rebrand it, repackage it, promote it right, market it right, and not have any like legal troubles, because I feel like Washington the last few years they've had this dark cloud over their head, and it's the morale's been bad. Everything's just not really been good, man.
Right.
They need a
They've been
fresh
trying
start.
they've been trying to
Yeah.
play with all the bullshit going on around them and shit. And it's stifling. You can see it. You get a sense of it, man.
Right, those players have to go to work, every day to practice, to, with all these things, you're hearing in the press and the media. And now you don't have to see that so much, so it is refreshing.
Who said Peyton Manning should buy a Washington team? They already been sold, dude. Josh, whatever his name was.
Our good troll friend there, Corey Brown, says,
Oh.
No. Josh Harris, the 76ers.
Yeah, Josh Harris. Thank you.
Yeah, his ownership group, they are the new owners of the Washington whatevers. Yeah, whatever they want to call them. So,
Whatever
Oh,
happened to
man.
Robert
We don't
Kraft?
even know it's going to be called Washington. I mean, they're going to have a whole new
oh,
look.
yeah,
man.
whatever it's going to be called. Yeah, Virginia, whatever it's going to be. I'm sorry, go ahead, Scott. What are you saying?
Whatever happened with Robert Kraft getting his at the massage parlor? Did they ever take
Oh, he's
away a
been nice.
first round draft choice or anything?
That was
No,
2 years ago, 3 years ago, right? Wasn't it?
But
yeah, he got suspended for a few games.
do you think if
that was-
Dan Schneider would have won 6 Super Bowls, he'd still own the team?
Yeah, I do.
I think Dan might have bailed out by then. I mean, after he went, if he got won 6 Super Bowls, he might have bailed out, because I don't think football was his. I think football was, he was there to give a fuck you to everybody. He wasn't. I don't think he was in bed with football. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of owners are businessmen. The Glazers are businessmen.
Yeah.
More than football, even though they like football, but they're not like football fans. They didn't come into, but they were given that team by their father, the late
For
Malcolm.
fuck's sakes, look how much they fucking sold that team for. He fucking made a killing, dude.
Didn't he? Oh my god! And that saved Tampa.
$6 billion
That's
for a football
Yeah.
fucking team. That just puts it in astronomical terms compared to what did Jerry Jones do? Something like $300 million to Tex Schramm when he bought Dallas.
Something like that. Yeah. Now it's like they're like probably the most richest franchise in sports. I think one of the top 2 or 3. I believe the Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah, and still the last team that was sold, I think, went for like $2 billion or $3 billion, and this just jumped the market like way the fuck up there, man.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
why Brady had to say, "Fuck it, I'll just buy a minority share in the Raiders. Fuck this."
right. Well, yeah, and then he also owns a piece with the Las Vegas Aces of the
Yeah.
WNBA. Brady, it's interesting. Now he can't play because of the NFL rules. You're not allowed to
Yeah, I
have
know.
a.
That
Well,
was
he tried to-
when I heard he signed that deal, I was like, "Yay! No more fucking Tom Brady's coming back."
Well, I think Brady was like,
Hear that.
"Oh man, really? How
Do I have
ironic
to
that
sign this? Oh shit!
how ironic
well.
that he has a piece of ownership with Jimmy Garoppolo on the team."
Well, they were hanging out together at
Yeah,
at
no, I
the
saw it.
Kentucky Derby. Did you see that?
Mhm. Yeah,
I did.
I was telling Connie, Keith's wife, that shit, and she goes, "Well, that's way too much pretty to be in one spot."
What's the deal with Garoppolo? He had foot surgery. Is he going to
yeah.
be able? Is he able to
March.
start? Is he going to
Yeah,
be
he
able
should
to?
be ready by he should be ready by training camp. He had it in March, so he'd be out a couple months, and then
They're now saying that Brock Purdy's expected to be maybe be able to play by the first game.
oh, okay, yeah. Well, he had the elbow surgery. I think it was like February. So, yeah, no, I mean, that's going to be interesting in San Francisco. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, that quarterback competition. We don't.
I'll take whichever one they don't want. I don't care. I'll take Trey.
Baker Mayfield. What are you worried about?
Man,
Have you seen him in training camp in practice?
I mean, I'm not worried. We got Stetson Bennett. If
from
Stanford,
all counts that I've heard from people that's went there, and was a couple of people that's been supposed to be analysis, is that not Trey Lance, Trask is doing really well there. But the thing is, Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles wanted to draft
Baker.
Baker Mayfield when he came out, and they're like really in love with him.
All right.
Oh, that was a wide
Who's that?
receiver drop, not a bad pass.
It's
Who was
okay.
throwing that?
You'll probably see Baker riding the bench a little bit. It's okay. You have
Well, he doesn't
40-year-old
do very well.
Stetson Bennett, right?
That's kind of what I've been hearing too, is that Baker's not playing up to Trask, but that Baker's the favored because the Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians right now.
But
Yeah.
don't worry, you guys have a 40-year-old Stetson Bennett, so blessings to you guys.
Not 48 years old. How old is he?
Dude's like damn near
52,
40.
I think.
He's 40.
Yeah, somewhere
It's like
between
25,
25
26.
and 50. Yeah. I mean, depending on how many drinks he's had. Hey. No, listen, the whole Baker thing, I mean, I think he'll still end up being the starter, but I'll tell you this, if he struggles early on, like you said, Johnny, we will see Kyle Trask, I bet, because the bye week's week 5.
Yeah,
That's early for us.
it is
So
very early.
if they have any struggles early on, they can give Kyle, he'll have that week to prepare, and then could go into the 5th game.
The schedule makers go by who they think is going to make a playoff push, and they give them the later round buys because they want them healthy for the playoffs and shit. That's
Right.
they should put it in a randomizer who gets the buys and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Little lottery. Yeah, like
Yeah.
spin the wheel or like little balls or something like. Anyway.
Anytime you have that human element touching it, there's always a chance that, okay, this guy's a little biased about this or that. You can't be unbiased. You work in the NFL. And it means you love football. And if you love football, you have your favorites and your unfavorites, right?
Yeah.
As hard as I try to be unbiased, I'd make the Saints take a day one bye every fucking year.
Yeah. Corey, this one we don't know yet. The Browns had a very good team, though, with OBJ, Landry, also had a great offensive line. We'll have a good offensive line too, but until we see the Bucs actually play, I mean, it's hard to tell right now. How good Baker, he should, because he's got Evans and Godwin, which is a better receiving core than OBJ and Landry. He should be able to do well in this offense, but again, we'll see what happens.
Hell, it's a better receiving core than the Rams gave him.
Get to the next question. I got a rant on that one, man. Fuck no, don't get rid of the ties. I love the fucking ties, man. It screws up the rankings so much. It's so fun. Don't you want? It's like some of these people are really trying to make it the no fun league, man. It's already getting boring.
I mean, we almost had Washington last year have 2 ties.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome,
Cool.
man.
I'd have been like, damn it. That'd have been great. No, the NFL you got to keep separate from college.
Yes.
Yeah, but even college, I liked it when they had the tie. They could do that now. Well, I don't know, because nowadays you're moving up to like 12 teams in the playoff.
What do you think of the fair catch rule now?
They're doing this to prevent injuries. You can't prevent injuries. You can't always prevent
a lot of those head-on collisions, but
true. But
it's going to make it. It's going to make them playbook their special teams a little bit more too. I think.
I didn't hear this. What's this rule?
Every fair catch comes to the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
No matter where you call the fair catch, you could be on the 1-yard line. You catch the fair catch, it comes out to the 25. And it's done in college, and it seems to work in college, and it doesn't stop all the run backs. It does put a halt on some of the stupid ones.
You're talking about returns, right?
Yeah.
You're not talking about quarterback to wide receiver.
You don't have a fair catch when you throw a pass to a wide receiver. I could see that. That'd be fucking hilarious. Peyton Manning to fucking Harrison. Harrison stops in the middle of the field and says, "Fair catch. Can't touch me."
But wouldn't that be kind of cool, though? I mean, Mike Evans catch the ball, touch it. Oh,
well, basically, there is a fair catch because a defensive back or a linebacker can't hit him before he catches the ball. So
catch the ball across the middle of the field and see where that rule hits.
Yeah, ask Chris Godwin there a couple of years ago.
Well, can you imagine? I gotten back to when you were talking before about Hopkins. Can you imagine Cooper Kupp and Hopkins if he stays healthy and he has a right attitude?
I can imagine Hopkins catching balls from Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's the 3 spots that was mentioned earlier. What was it? Where can we find that?
Which one was that, Johnny?
Where he said the 3 spots were
Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philadelphia.
No, that's you. Where is it? Oh, I must have passed it. He said duty. Bucks, Bengals, and Rams. I don't. It never happened to the Bucks. It ain't going to happen with the Bucks. Bengals, Rams. I don't see it with the Rams. You got D-Hop wants a quarterback.
Yeah.
One that's going to last through the year. I'm pretty sure Bengals is out of those 3. That's the number 1 spot for me. I'd pick for him. I wouldn't put him with the Bucks right now.
No,
we got a loaded receiver room. I ain't worried about our receiving core. Honestly, I'm not.
No, we're fine. Evans, Godwin,
Gage.
Yeah,
There's a couple others we drafted too. So
right, yeah. The one.
And not to mention we got Kurt Warner's son. So there you go.
Then Trey Palmer, the rookie out of Nebraska, saying he's doing pretty good so far in rookie camp. So
yep.
Yeah.
Although Kurt Warner's son, in my opinion, kind of fucking blew the locker room for himself. Coming out saying that he's smarter than any rookie in camp. I mean, dude, you just alienated half your locker room with that fucking comment.
That's pretty confident, man. If you're gonna say stuff like that, you better back it up. I mean,
better.
What's his first name? Is it Cade?
Cade, yeah.
Cade Warner, yep.
Yeah, I remember Cade when he was knee high to a bullfrog.
We got 2 Cades on our team now. Maybe they'll both shine out. I know Cade Otton's going to shine out.
Yeah, I think this could be his year. I know Evans and Godwin are going to get a lot
I
of
have to
press.
say this, Alec. That's an awesome hairdo, man. Your hair's looking good tonight, bud.
I haven't got a haircut in a week.
Exactly.
Actually, 2 weeks.
That's the point.
Well,
It's
don't
starting to
worry.
look really good out there.
Oh, I'm gonna.
I cut my hair Thursday.
It's gonna get cut
You
short
did?
Thursday. Here we go.
So did Johnny. What's that?
Oh man,
That's an
The
interesting
phallic
logo.
symbol in the middle, yeah. Oh, I mean the pentagon in the middle.
looks like something from Russia.
The Washington Memorial, Lincoln
Yeah.
Memorial, whatever the fuck it is.
The Washington Lincolns. That might be interesting.
Giving you the stink eye. Who's he giving the stink eye to?
The Washington Phalluxes.
Oh,
Phallic.
No, he froze for a minute. That's why. Yeah. Oh man. So, what else do we want to talk about here?
St. Louis Cardinals.
There's a pay-per-view on
Har-
tomorrow. Let's ignore
Oh,
that. Don't ignore that comment because they play like a fucking shit tonight. Ignore that. Let's move on.
Oh, did they
Tomorrow.
start using steroids again?
yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
Boston
we
Red
got
Sox.
hoed. We got hoed.
By the Red
It
Sox.
was rigged.
Dude,
Let's move
to
on.
me,
It was rigged. It was a. It
when I
was,
was
it was supposed to
younger,
be a
the
walk.
big difference
was
between
supposed to be a walk.
baseball and cricket was the fact that baseball players back then at least had a reason to be buff. Cricket players never. Dude, you fucking take 3 days off during a match to fucking go get drunk and eat. And then you come back, and all these cricket players are so built and so buff and shit, man. Why? They don't have to do shit. And now baseball players might as well just get as out of shape as everybody else because fucking they don't do shit either.
Well, I
Give me the
mean,
steroid era back, make it exciting for me, and I will fucking be the first one to a fucking game.
there's only one there's only certain kind of people that are losing in MLB this year. Is all
Everybody
the
that
fat
loves
fucks
to watch a
that are
game.
pitchers.
Oh,
They're losing badly. Have you seen it this year? Every fat pitcher.
Yeah, I've seen
doing terrible this year 'cause
the
of the
guys.
pitch clock.
Honest to God, I've watched people go into Pirate Stadium fucking carrying their sleepwear.
Well, I mean, it's Pirates. They're fucking
mean,
trash.
It's baseball. They get
Yeah.
they get
They're
the
just
point.
no,
here,
they're
man.
just,
They
they're
understand.
just fucking trash. They're
Wait,
just a
wait,
fucking
wait a
trash
minute.
team.
I heard every Friday of the month they have a pajama night. Okay, a pajama jam night. All right, Johnny.
They
come
do.
on.
They do.
I mean, if I was a fan of the Pirates, I would sleep in that stadium too. They're fucking shit.
Look, man.
They're fucking a
Look.
shit team.
Do you want to watch Danny Machado now or Danny Machado on steroids? Come on, man. You want to see Machado on steroids, don't you?
Was he kind of on steroids already? He's pretty built. Like,
Well, legally on steroids where he can really blow up.
he's bad.
I want to see him
don't
turn
know.
into McGuire, dude. You know what I mean? Or
Oh
Bonds.
yeah.
I think
Jeff Bagwell.
So Sammy Sosa. Those are the guys that fucking really had me watching baseball. Okay, I got that's not quite honest, but even back in the old days, they were using steroids,
Yeah.
like the Reds, the Big Red Machine. That was a fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun to watch, man. Come on.
Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, yeah, Johnny
Johnny
Bench.
Bench.
Oh,
Yep.
classic. Alec was like, "Wait, who are those
I'm
old
just saying,
guys?"
like, people sleeping. Like, I mean,
Ha
I'm
ha,
not gonna lie
Sean,
to
you
you.
can't quit this
Pittsburgh
one. You don't
Pirates
know
as a
where it's
whole-
at. Ha ha ha.
Pirates as a whole is just a fucking shit team. I wouldn't blame anybody sleeping at that fucking stadium because that team is just fell off the abyss.
I can't blame
It's
anybody
shit-
for
it's
sleeping in
shit
any
ran.
stadium.
It's a shit team. Shit ran. It's just bottom of the
They
barrel.
haven't-
Dude, look, wait a minute. Hold on, just
They
a second.
were
Let me
good.
defend this system here a minute.
Go ahead.
I'm a football fan. Look at this energy. Alec is a baseball fan. Look at that energy.
What would Scott be? What kind of fan would
Scott's
he be?
just
I'm a football guy basically, but I love my Cardinals and I love my Blues.
Okay.
Scott is a Pornhub fan.
I don't lie.
which is still far more exciting than baseball.
Man, it's better than
Well,
Netflix or
come on,
Prime
I
or
mean-
Hulu.
I mean, you still got your balls and your bat. It's kind of like baseball. Or no, it's a better version of baseball.
Closer to golf, you're trying to sink it in a hole.
Yeah, but you're trying to hit a home run.
Mm,
At the same
Yeah.
time,
hole in one, maybe.
Yeah, you missed my joke when you left the last show.
What's
You
that?
said you had to take a hiatus, and I said, does he have to stand on his tippy toe to get the hiatus?
I'm glad I left the show.
Oh,
if you
man,
want to
you're
talk
lucky
about the pay-per-view tomorrow,
There's a
Oh,
pay-per-view
Night of
tomorrow.
Champions. Night of
yeah,
Champions.
Night
Yeah,
Champions is tomorrow.
1 p.m. Eastern on Peacock.
And what is
Whip
it?
that-
2 hours later, it'll be free.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it is
pay-per-view.
free.
Oh, is it? Well, then why is it called a pay-per-view?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
technically it's
Live
pay-per-view.
events. Premium
Dude,
live
I remember the old WrestleManias and shit. We'd get like a group of 25 or 30 guys that wanted to watch them. We'd all pitch in and get the pay-per-view and shit. It'd be awesome, man. We'd be partying and stuff. Them were parties,
I mean, technically you're paying for it, but you're paying.
But
A
now
month.
after COVID, you don't want 25 fucking people in your fucking house.
Shit. Oh man, we'd love to have 25 people over at Johnny's house, man. That'd be fun.
You would. It'd be awesome, man. I'd
Yeah.
lock you all in and fucking burn the house down.
You ready to see? You ready to see
Fuck
Brock
you
Lesnar beat Cody Rhodes?
Brock beating. It's probably going to extend to another match. Probably Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. That'll
Who's got the broken
Include-
arm? Brock Lesnar?
Cody.
Andrew's asking for a link, dude.
I will. Andrew, I'm going to send that link to you in just a second, buddy.
Can he go to the comments?
Yeah, but I'll send it to him privately.
I mean, the
I
match
mean
card for the whole
privately, I
pay-per-view
mean-
is pretty decent. They have the Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, Rhea Ripley versus Natalia, Belair versus Asuka, Gunther versus Ali, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for that new belt, Lesnar versus Rhodes, and they have the tag team championship versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns and Sikoa solo.
Dude, if they ever remake Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you've got to try out for the teacher because I can see you
No, I'm
standing in
good.
class going, Bueller,
I'll pass.
Bueller.
Pass.
Bueller. Oh, dude, Ben Stein. Win Ben Stein's Money was one of the best trivia shows I've ever seen.
What?
Talk about remember that show, Win Ben Stein's Money?
Oh, that, yeah, okay.
That's one of
I
the
was-
best
I'm
shows.
not gonna lie.
Had to click
I'll be
on
honest
the
with you.
voice.
That match they have for the tag team titles, it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of stupid in my opinion. Like, having Roman Reigns try to get both belts, stuff like that, for the tag team titles. It's just,
Is that news that Randy Orton retired? I didn't know that was news.
He's not
I didn't even know
retired,
about that.
but he's still out with the back. He had a back surgery several months ago. Still trying to recover from that. There's no timetable for his return right now, so we'll see how he does. But I don't expect him to be back anytime soon. So, yeah. But some people are suggesting he should because people that are
I don't
close to
like
him
the
saying-
hatred that Brock Lesnar always gets, man. I'm gonna say something here.
Go
All right, he's old and he's washed up now, and his legs look like toothpicks. But for his time, when Brock Lesnar walked in the ring, there was never anybody more fearsome as a wrestling opponent than him. You know what I mean?
Yes. Or this guy.
This guy.
This guy does one of the most amazing Rick and Morty imitations ever.
I gotta not be so nervous when I try to do a game for the first time.
Dude,
You
that
did
was
okay,
fun.
man.
dude.
That was great. That was fun.
I gotta do better. Hi, Alec. How are you doing?
Shalom.
Andrew, welcome to the show. Welcome to my show,
Assalamu
man. How you
alaikum.
doing?
I'm good, thank you for having me. Guten Tag to everybody. I heard we were talking wrestling, and I'm not the biggest wrestling fan ever. A couple of things have fallen on my timeline. I am going to say this, though, because like I was more the late 90s, early 2000s with the Attitude Era and Stone Cold and stuff like that. I see Randy Orton in the comment section is actually one of my favorites. The Hardy Boys were my favorite. And what was that, 4 or 5 years ago when they came back? That whole intro with the Jamaicans there, those tag team.
The New Day, yeah.
The New Day, I like them too. I like how they were funny and like they actually like I've seen a couple of the highlights of their matches and stuff. But like I almost cried when I saw that. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. Yeah.
What is gonna get me is moments that they just had. I want to say it was Backlash or whatever they just had in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
It was Backlash in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny comes out and his song is literally being chanted, not sang, chanted by the entire crowd. And now that song is all over my playlist. I play that almost every day, and all I think is a crowd just being like, Jumpera, like that was amazing. So I've started to pay attention a little bit more. I'm not a fan of the Rey Mysterio son. I'm not.
I don't think anybody is.
He's
Yeah,
only
it's pretty,
5'6".
Pretty mid.
Yeah, I understand what the WWE's
I
doing.
spent
They
the
gotta
night in
have
a drunk tank, and I'm a badass. Fuck you.
His,
He went to
his-
jail, Johnny. Remember that. He went to jail apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
drunk
tough.
tank. Fuck him.
The lady. What's the lady that he's got, Mama or whatever the heck her name is?
Rhea
Rhea,
Ripley.
Rhea.
Rita Ripley. So
Yeah.
I told my fiance that she's like trending on social media, like this attractive kind of like for the LGBTQ crowd or whatever. And she's like, Kim was like, I don't know, she's scary. And I'm like, that's why. That's 2023, babe. They want to be scared now. They don't like the cute and innocent. It's all about Mama. And
Yeah.
she's not the worst looking thing I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
She is
She's
an
really,
attractive woman.
take the makeup off. She is pretty attractive. She's from Australia, so man,
I've
she's-
heard the accent too. So she's good. She's good for the WWE.
She's got to lose that loser, man.
She'll
No, she's
she'll
just
heal
handled
him.
Oh.
She'll heal him.
It's his mommy. You know, you don't want to lose your mommy. I mean,
I guess
Come on.
Andrew missed out on the Washington talk.
The Commanders.
No,
Last-
Commanders, BMVs, whatever you want to call them.
me and Sean were going over where they could end up because Washington's already said they're not going to get a stadium there. Okay, and you'd have to take down RFK in order to build them a stadium in the first place, right?
Wait, so we're talking relocation for the Commanders?
Yeah, they're going somewhere, or they're going to stay in Landover, or according to Sean, they bought a few 100 acres in fucking Virginia. What town did he say?
That's where I think they would go.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole new branding. So if Washington's telling you we don't want you fucking here, drop their fucking name. Fuck off, man. Don't give them no promo at all, man. You know, but there is that fan perspective where you don't want to lose all that history.
Yep.
But then again, we haven't forgotten Earl Campbell. We haven't forgotten Oilers and their fall from grace when Bills came back on them. We haven't forgot any of that shit. They're not going to, I don't think they'll lose their history. Their Hall of Famers will still be Hall of Famers. They'll still have those titles. It's like the Browns becoming the Ravens. You know, you might actually get a boost out of it.
Not wrong. Whoa.
Yeah.
And that area, I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but Virginia, DC, and Maryland is
growing-
called the DMV.
Yeah.
So ride that out. Embrace that shit because they all love you. All your fans are going to love you. The DC fans, the Maryland fans, the Virginia fans that you have, they're all still going to love you. So embrace that. Call yourself the DMV and appeal to all of them.
And if I'm not mistaken, Alec kind of knows this too because of chat I remember with him and Sean Spencer about that specific place there and just how like gorgeous it is and how there's a couple of I think like the beach city or whatever.
Ocean City, yeah.
Yeah, like one of those places is starting to come up really, really good, or even like there's another one too, I can't remember, but it's like Raleigh, North Carolina, right? Everybody just thinks North Carolina and they forget what city it is there. You can call it, anything really other. You call it Maryland, hell, if you wanted to. You can just call it the DC whatevers, and you just got to go watch them play an hour away.
He's the first.
Everybody in the area refers to it as the DMV. That's what all the locals call it. It's the DMV, Delaware. I mean, not DC, Maryland, Virginia. Instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm from DC or Maryland," they say, "I'm from the DMV." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He's the first person I heard him call Raleigh.
Right?
Oh, is it Raleigh?
Yeah.
It's called
Oh,
Raleigh.
damn it!
Raleigh,
That's what you should have. That's what you should have, Ben. You should just have a segment where you get me and Alex to try and say, well, Alex is kind of American, so that may not work, but come up with all these different names of towns and make me try to pronounce them. Because it is Tallahassee, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Got it right.
Nailed it.
That's one down.
How about Las Vegas?
It's Las Vegas, right?
I wish I could write it down for you to read, but I was going to try to get you to say Caloosahatchee.
Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee.
I see the comment Washington moving Canada.
No.
Listen,
Well, hey.
I have prayed to every sport god that has ever been up there, and every single one has laughed at me. I've even gone below, and they've laughed at me. They're like, "It's way too cold down here. You think we're gonna have a football team? Like, get the fuck out of here." But the Blue Jays just spent like $400 million on renovations to the Superdome, whatever the heck they call it there.
The Rogers Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, Rogers Stadium or Rogers Center, whatever Rogers calls it. They own everything up here now. So, and if there was a chance to come up here, it would have to be with that building, because you're not going to be able to succeed a NFL team in Toronto moving them anywhere but downtown. It's not going to work. Even having their soccer team literally across the street from the Maple Leafs and the Rogers Center there does not bring in the kind of crowd that they want to. It brings in a good, respectable crowd when they're winning, but you need it to be sold out like the Maple Leafs have when they suck, or how the Blue Jays can stay afloat when they suck, because they still bring in crowds because they all want to go pay that cheap price and they get the free tickets, and it looks good. The NFL team that would come to Canada, you would not be able to have that unless it was somewhere in, for example, like Rogers Center, because it can hold like 100,000 people if you wanted it to.
Okay, so they're renovating the Rogers Center. How many? What does it seat? Like about 60,000 right now?
Yeah,
50, 60,000?
Yep.
Something like that. So they're going to add on new seats, right? Like new seats, luxury suites, and stuff like that.
So they did, and I know there's a big article about one of the people complaining in Toronto about they've taken like the front side of the baseball the dugouts and kind of move them back, so a lot of people lose like their seats. And if they were going to put a football team in there, they would put like a retractable seats right back in there. So you would lose your seats for baseball, but if they did it and put the football team in there for some odd reason, they would do kind of what I think Candlestick did back in the day, where they had that little push out part and they can kind of push it back for
their Candlestick was bad.
They would just have it on two different sections now. And it would look very, very awkward. And I would still buy the nosebleed seats because it would just be so cool to watch a football game from a place that I was very inebriated at one point. But
I think that's why
it's kind of like the Minnesota when they had the Metrodome. Remember where the Twins would they'd have that big wall. The seats were pushed up in right field. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that. But Candlestick, that was weird, man. Because it was like you're playing in like a demolition place or something, like, how it was so wide. Instead, it's like you're playing in a junkyard, the world's biggest junkyard, like for baseball. it is. It's true.
And it was historic.
Yeah.
That's the reason it stayed so long. It was historic.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and it was in downtown San Francisco. San Francisco. Now you're kind of outside of it because with Oracle Park, it's more by the bay and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Andrew. I mean, do you realistically see an NFL team come to not only Toronto but just Canada in general?
I do. NFL's pushing for it right now. Yeah.
In the next decade.
So here's what would have to happen is kind of like what you have with like Ryan Reynolds was going after the Ottawa Senators. Snoop Dogg was going after the Ottawa Senators, all the people that were going after the Commanders and stuff like that. The NFL would have to do an expansion to 4 teams and make a huge, like the money that you would be able to sell from just an expansion alone, like the live feed of it, like you can make it like a draft, like a 3-day thing. You tell me that it's in freaking Florida, sure, now I'm going. You tell me it's in Europe, sure, I'll go at that point. Like for the expansion draft, hell's yeah. And then
St. Louis has to have a team.
I 1,000% agree.
Absolutely.
If that were to happen, though, something in Canada, and I really hate to say it like this, because down in America, like Elon has taken off, and the Amazon guy has taken off, and a couple of these other billionaires have just taken off, and it's not that much going up here when it comes to that. Like there's the Ostopoulos or whatever, and he's sniffed around the Commanders and a couple of these other ones, but he won't be able to do it alone. And there'd have to be a lot of other Canadians that would come in and be guaranteed a stadium. That they would never pay for a stadium just with the cost of the conversion rate to the States of like the players that they would already have to pay off, and just the conversion rate from the owners would already be enough. And it has been
that group that Bon Jovi was with wanting to get in there, though, right?
Yep. So, Bon Jovi won't anymore. Bon Jovi won't go for a team in Toronto just because of the hassles that he did have to go through and the amount of money that he lost just trying to get the bills. And the NFL, there's the backstory of the NFL basically being like, you can't have the bills and you can't bring them to Canada, which also makes sense. I 1,000% that. I agree with that. Then they should have proposed right then and there when Canada was still doing good as a nation financially. That's when you should have done expansion, because then do you imagine the amount of money that the NFL would be making right now with another 4 teams?
Yep.
St. Louis, just was it Battlehawks in the XFL? The first 4 or 5 home games were sold out, and they got to go into the nosebleeds. Then they sold that out almost.
Yep.
So I'm down with it, and I want it.
So Andrew, with the Canadian owner that was trying to, or the Canadian businessman that was trying to get the Commanders, does he have any kind of relationship with Ryan Reynolds or any other celebrities, perhaps Canadian celebrity, that would help him, either buy another team or try an expansion team, perhaps?
See, it's funny, because I don't think so. Like nothing I don't think has ever been public about them, but because now you've basically given me an idea where like I could easily make like a very funny video where I'm trying to convince a bunch of Canadian like businessmen to go in on an NFL team and just be like, just look at the money. Like you could end up with Caleb, you can end up with a Manning. You can literally have the expansion happen in 2026. They could be like, here, you can have all these good players, and they'll be like, nope. Oh, so do you just want to? We just want the first overall pick. Thank you very much. We select Arch Manning and the Arch Manning family, and we move them to Canada, and we call it a fucking day from there. Like that. There's certain things that I would love nothing more than to happen. They're not.
Andrew, are you in? Is the province where you live? Is that Alberta?
Yep.
Do you know you live in the wealthiest province in Canada? I just looked up the top 10 list.
And that's the reason this province likes to strong dick the rest of the country. Because not to get too political or anything. The province that I'm in is the province that does produce obviously the most natural resources. The problem is we just don't have anywhere to refine it. And again, not to get political, every time in Canada we try to build our own proper refinery, y'all stop us because you're like, no, hey, no, you can't be producing your own, and no. And I understand that 1,000% as well. With the United States, with how much they've produced and allowed Canada to have a deal on all that kind of stuff, yeah, I can understand.
Holy shit, it's not even fucking close between you and second place. That's Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah, Saskatchewan's
you guys are at like
oil producer.
Your GDP is 78,154,000.
Wow.
Saskatchewan's GDP is 70,654.
That's why. You want to know this?
Fuck.
I know y'all know hockey a little bit, right? I know Alec knows hockey pretty well.
Yeah,
very well.
The elections are happening in this province right now, and it's basically just between not to get too political. It's not Democratic versus Republican, like kind of how you guys have. It's right now the guy in the middle versus the extreme right. That's how it is. They don't like the extreme left here, and I totally understand that. But the extreme right is in their bill is if we get elected, the Calgary Flames get their new stadium. The whole like $2 billion fucking right on the river. The whole Calgary Stampede, which I'm sure some Americans have heard about the Calgary Stampede. It's a very big, prestigious festival. The grounds that it happens on, the Stampede would literally give that to the ownership, because then they would be given the Saddle Dome and all the property that belongs to the Saddle Dome. And so everyone in Calgary is going to be voting hells yeah, like hoot and holler and hells yeah. But then everyone up in Edmonton who's Oiler fans are like,
where you're at, Andrew, I was always wondering, because Queen Elizabeth passed away recently, and now you have to change the currency. How has that affected your country? I mean, as far as like business deals, I hope I'm asking the right question. Like,
it's
I'm
not
always curious.
From what I understand, I know Canada's like respectively profitable here and there when it comes to the stock exchange, some of the cryptocurrency, because I know one of the main leaders in Canada is very big on the cryptocurrency. And
didn't crypto just take a dump?
We know, and that's one of the reasons why he's kind of backtracked on that a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. But it's there needs to be. It's just one of those things where there needs to be something. Like Shopify, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing in Canada besides Rogers. And Rogers, actually, no, sorry, let me rephrase it. Rogers is. Shopify will be second because they're up and coming. But Rogers owns everything, and Rogers will not allow anybody to buy anything else. Like, that's why they bought all the other phone companies. They're sponsored for all the arenas basically in Canada. Like the Vancouver Canucks, it's the Rogers Arena. Out here, it's the Rogers Arena or whatever here for the Oilers. When Calgary gets the new stadium, Rogers Saddle Dome or whatever. I believe the Maple Leafs, the Maple Leafs are now 36.5% owned by Rogers Entertainment, which I didn't know until I started doing some studying for a project that I'm kind of doing for one of the other shows. And I was like, oh my God, this company really just owns everything up here. And they just want money. They don't care about anything else. They just want money. And it's so weird. And I don't like
what about like Quebec? Does Rogers have a footprint on the province of Quebec? Because I know it's dominantly French Canadian.
French.
I know speak on the French. No, I'm just kidding.
You won't go there? Okay.
No. The funny thing is the French always bitch and complain. And I'm saying this as a Canadian, and my last name is literally French. I come from that side of Canada. They always bitch and complain where they're like, Alberta always gets the big end of the stick and this, that, and everything else. And it's like, well, they do produce the most, and you guys don't produce anything. So there's that. But they have been the number one reason why Canada hasn't had, say, like a pipeline from the West Coast to the East Coast, just to allow Canada to have the same type of like gas price. You know what I mean? They've been the blocker. They always have. And then it was 3 years ago, they had a very, very bad winter. They didn't get any, and because they don't like natural resource, they run most of their province on propane. They didn't have any propane, so Alberta had to send propane, and Alberta sent propane, but we're kind of like, you have to pay for propane. And then Canada literally stepped in and was like, no, you have to give it to Quebec. And that's when everybody started doing the, that doesn't seem fair. So about this pipeline, and Quebec's like, no, propane, now go away. So yeah, that's Canada in a nutshell. We don't have any money.
I mean,
Wow.
since we're bringing up the hockey topic, I wanted to hear Andrew's opinion on the Coyotes stadium
Oh,
denial
Yeah.
in Tempe.
My friend, there's only Gary Bettman, and I say this as like we're all hockey guys, right? And yeah, Gary Bettman's
that's what he wants to do.
because he's gonna retire there and he's gonna get his own suite, and that's the reason. Like honestly, there's a video that someone made on Twitter which is really funny, and it's about if you go through the blueprints of the new arena, you can specifically see where Gary Bettman's retirement room is and all the stuff that it gets and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's got to be for a GM. You can't tell me his retirement. I can't believe that. He wants it there because of the market, and I 1,000% agree with it. Me and Chris were kind of talking on the show there just about Arizona as a whole. They make a lot of money.
Top 5 market in the country, yeah.
Yeah. So
You
you're
have to have a lot of money. They just gave DeAndre Hopkins $22 million to leave.
now here's where
I mean,
it
I would
gets
rather have them in any other arena than playing in the one they had last season.
Mullet
Arena.
Arena. It's an insult to some of these players. Like Clayton Keller almost scores 100 points last year, and nobody wants to talk about it because the Yotes played in Mullet freaking Arena. Like,
I mean, Yotes are a good team. I mean, they had a bad season, but they're just.
the Yotes.
I want to see them like. People sleep on the Yotes, and they're actually a decently good team.
Their farm team is like everybody loves the name Tkachuk right now, and they have a new like the same type of player in I think it's Connor Geeky. Morgan plays for Seattle, and he helped them be like a buff type guy and help them through the playoffs and really help be the like goon guy. And
I watched the Yotes got freaking Bedard. I really wanted them to get Bedard.
I did too. Because the Yotes, honestly, right then and there, everybody talks about like, all these teams call or all these cities call about the possible like relocation and this, that, and everything else. If Connor Bedard went to the Coyotes, Arizona would have picked that phone right back up, or Tempe would have picked that phone right back up and been like, so how about that stadium? We'll revote on that pretty damn quick.
I hope he doesn't go to Chicago, but that's probably what it's going to be like. I don't want to see him out of all teams, Chicago.
No, he is.
Oh, I think he already sold season tickets for next year because
So Matt Bannon from 1252 Sports, me and him do a hockey show. So we had him on a couple of weeks ago, and we even asked him because he was like, I got season tickets. And I was like, okay, when did you get season tickets? He's like, halfway through the season. And I'm like, smart. How much did you pay? It's like about $2,200 for the season tickets for next year, for like this upcoming year. And I go, may I ask if you were to sell right now? And then I couldn't even get it out. He goes, 10 grand. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, for nosebleeds? And he goes, if I really wanted to. And I'm like, are you? And he goes, I'm going to enjoy at least one season. And then like, if I, for some odd reason, have the ability to buy them at the kind of the same price, or even like they still get that deal or whatever kind of thing. He's like, if I do that, then I might have to sell mine, because he's like, Bedard's going to be the ticket.
Is there going to be the Yotes or the Ducks? I thought he was going to go to. That was like the top two destinations I thought he would have went to.
I wanted him on Arizona because if they had to relocate, that team is going to be very, very scary in 3 to 4 years when they do finally develop one of their goalies and they get one more defenseman and this, that, and everything else. So if they were to go to Houston, which everybody keeps talking about, they're going to have to rebrand because Houston would want their own thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to the Arrows and they rebrand the Arrows all over again, which would be kind of cool. And they do like that light blue, white, and off green, which is kind of interesting. It actually works. Or you go to an already built $1 billion stadium in the middle of freaking Quebec, and you go back to the Quebec City, but exactly. So that's where Bettman's going to do. He's either going to put it in Houston or you're playing in Mullet Arena until I literally die.
I got cut
Andrew,
out,
real
guys.
quick.
It's been a long day for me, man.
Johnny, thank you very much for being on my show too.
All right.
Johnny,
It was fun, man. I love that show.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming on, Johnny, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night, man.
Later.
Yeah.
All right.
In my honest opinion, if they go to Houston, I hope they attract more fans than the Stars do. Because have you actually sat in a Stars game
I
in
hate
person?
Stars. I hate Star fans.
It's a dead zone. Like every person I've seen go to a game, when they score a goal, all I hear is this, "Yay!"
I hate Star fans.
Like
And they waste popcorn. You should never waste
I
popcorn.
do.
but-
I do have to head out too, actually. The pretty lady's got some food coming in, and I haven't hung out with her. And I told her I was going to pop in here for a little bit, hang out with you guys, and then I'm going to go hang out with her. So,
Andrew, you tell her that we're winning this thing tomorrow night. She should not worry at all. We got this wrapped up. We're going to win tomorrow night.
hey, babe, are you around here? Yeah. Ben says, "Don't you worry. The Vegas Golden Knights are wrapping this up tomorrow." She's like, "Oh yeah."
Yes.
You should don't jinx it though. Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Andrew,
And,
appreciate it. Promote yourself real quick, bud. Before we
Oh, okay.
get you off, man.
I have North Sports Dynasties, I guess head
Ah.
creator, and we just did a show. Now all my energy is like gone. I'm gonna eventually pass out. I've literally been standing all day, and my feet are like, dude, we're done. So it's a good thing I got this cane right here. Yeah, you can
Oh.
catch me on Fridays. Maple Buck will be back on in a couple of weeks. We
Nice.
got Terribly Toxic, Restoring the Roar, Off the Boards, Maple Buck. We got a bunch of shows. We got a couple new ones starting up probably in the new year. I'm going to probably be purchasing a couple of other shows. So keep another eye out for some new content coming down the pipe. And as always, I'll be around Ben Zone, Let's Talk Football, Sports Web, all those fun places. You can catch me everywhere. I appreciate you, Ben and Alec. Thank you for having me on. And I will talk to you guys again soon.
Andrew, thank you for coming on and have a good night, man. Take
You
care.
guys as well. Peace.
Peace. All right, Mr. Schomber, we're going to head out ourselves, man. I want to thank you for coming on tonight. This is a lot of fun. Good to see you back. You want to promote yourself before we head out?
I'm good.
All good?
I do
Okay.
it way too many times.
You do way too many. You got it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on Have At It, and we will see you guys next time on the show. So have a good weekend, good Memorial Day weekend. Whatever you're doing, be safe out there, have fun, and we'll see you next time on Have At It.